A striking claim recently emerged from a top American official. It has reshaped the public story of the India-US trade negotiations. Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Commerce Secretary, stated that a major trade deal between the two nations fell apart. He said the deal was essentially complete. All that was needed, according to Lutnick, was a final phone call from Prime Minister Narendra Modi to President Donald Trump. This call, he claimed, was never made. This assertion paints a picture of a deal on the brink of success, only to falter at the last moment. The simplicity of this explanation is what makes it so powerful and, for many, so perplexing. Lutnick's comments, made during an interview on the All In podcast, outlined his sequence of events. He described that the complex terms, market access provisions, and tariff schedules were settled. "I had set the whole deal up. It's all set up. You've got to have Modi call the president." He suggested the Indian side was uncomfortable with this final step. The narrative immediately sparked debate about how big deals really close. Focus shifted from technical clauses to the personal dynamics between two leaders. To understand the current impasse, we must look at the timeline, which now includes two competing versions. The U.S. version, as articulated by Howard Lutnick, is built around a specific deadline. He described a mid-2025 window of 3 Fridays to finalize the agreement, with July 11th as the key date. When the closer call did not materialize by then, the U.S. moved on. American negotiators pivoted to willing partners in Asia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam. This sequence showed decisiveness. Deals were ready elsewhere, and Washington would not wait indefinitely. However, India offers a starkly different account. The Ministry of External Affairs refuted Lutnick, saying the characterization was not accurate. They noted PM Modi and President Trump spoke on 8 occasions in 2025. India says it submitted its final offer and awaited a U.S. response. Two narratives at odds. At the center is President Donald Trump and a personal approach to foreign policy. Analysts note he often views international relations through a personal lens, deals framed as personal victories. Lutnick's claim suggests technical merits were secondary to a personal closer. In this view, ego can drive outcomes, sometimes to a fault. A decisive leader can accelerate progress, but perceived slights can derail years of work. India's discomfort with a performative closer call hints at that pitfall. If teams believed the call was non-negotiable, their strategy revolved around securing it. Failure to get it becomes, in their view, the definitive reason for collapse. India counters that high-level engagement was robust. A specific closer might have seemed redundant or performative. Mature diplomacy rests on substance and mutual respect, not one-sided gestures. A clash of philosophies, personal leadership, institutional process, mutual accommodation. While the phone call story grabbed headlines, tariffs shaped reality. In August 2025, the U.S. imposed an additional 25% on certain Indian exports. Total burden on those goods rose to 50%, a significant economic blow for exporters. Pressure escalated with new legislation in Congress. A bipartisan bill gained momentum with President Trump's backing. It aimed to punish buyers of discounted Russian crude. For India, now a major buyer, implications were stark. Senator Lindsey Graham said the bill would give tremendous leverage over India and China. Soon, a 500% tariff figure circulated in public discussion. Such a rate would effectively close the U.S. market to targeted Indian goods and services. Scope could include merchandise exports and the vital IT services sector. For India's top export market, 500% is an existential threat. This aggressive strategy is coercive leverage on trade and on Russia policy. But extreme pressure can backfire, hardening India's resolve. Concessions become harder to sell at home under constant tariff threats. Faced with stalled talks and punitive threats, India has not stood still. It has pursued deliberate trade diversification. This is not about abandoning the U.S. market, which remains critical. It is about resilience and balance. Talks with the European Union have advanced meaningfully. An EU agreement would be monumental. A UK pact has been concluded. Deals with the UAE and Australia add strategic depth. New opportunities reduce reliance on any single market. Beyond deals, India is reorienting its economic diplomacy. Lowering tariffs, harmonizing standards, and streamlining customs unlock access. Regions of focus include the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Europe. A broader partner network becomes a safety net. If the US route narrows, there are alternatives. The dispute cannot be understood without Russia's role. India increased purchases of discounted Russian crude after the Ukraine war. From New Delhi's perspective, this was pragmatic economics. Cheaper energy aids inflation control and industrial growth. In FY 2024-25, Indian refiners bought over $50 billion of Russian crude. Washington argues such purchases weaken sanctions and fund war. US tariffs explicitly linked to India's energy trade with Moscow. Proposed law threatens more severe penalties. India is caught between economic needs and a key strategic relationship. India cut Russian oil imports by 38% in December 2025, a three-year low. Trade has become a geopolitical chess match and a lever on foreign policy. The deal's fate may hinge less on clauses and more on how both sides navigate their disagreement over Russia. Looking ahead, the relationship is uncertain, with several possible paths. Optimistic. A diplomatic reset. A direct conversation could clear the air, followed by substantive negotiator work. Both sides would likely need to make concessions. Pessimistic. Escalation. If new law bites hard, relations could freeze. Tariffs that high would be seen as hostile, likely triggering retaliation. Likely. Cautious engagement, selective tariffs, partial adjustments, continued diversification to the EU, UK, and others. Trade continues, but with higher risk and uncertainty. The one phone call, accurate or not, remains a powerful symbol. It shows trade is inseparable from politics and personality. The stalled deal is a symptom of a relationship at a crossroads. The direction next will shape both economies and global trade and diplomacy.